Jordan!
Iain!
Who went for a bike ride, crashed into a log, went head over heels, and in the tumble, accidentally licked a bizarre-looking plant, got high, wandered off, and was never seen again.
Britney Spears?
No. Two guys. What? Hello, and welcome to episode 64 of Two Guys What's Up, the weekly comedy podcast where, again, I've written a segment that includes names that I simply cannot pronounce. But luckily for me, I'm joined by a guy whose name I can say, and that is Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
Oh, you've been getting it wrong for years, mate. I've just not had the heart to tell you.
Oh God, what is it really?
It's Jordan.
I was going to say, it'd be funny if you said in one of these intros, I did actually get it right. Like that time I went, Jordan. Like, you're like, yeah, that's the right one.
Yeah. The people in New York that time at Starbucks, they got it right.
They got it right, yeah. Just had to tell me that they got it wrong just to make me feel better.
Yeah.
You're so kind.
It's also written John, J-O-N-H.
I did actually write that in our notes one time. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah. Brilliant. My jokes are lost.
To be honest, it was with the rest of the gibberish.
Yeah, I just scanned over it. It was all shit.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Better than I was at the beginning of the week, as you know.
Yeah, good. Grant, you feeling better?
Yeah, definitely. And I don't mind saying it to the people here that are listening. You know, it's only 4 of them anyway. So I ended up going to the GP because my bollock hurt.
Oh, God. You never want that, do you?
You really don't. I mean, only thing worse is both of them hurting.
That is definitely a time to worry if both of them are hurting and the doctor says, yeah, they got to come off.
Oh, God. He just brings out these garden shears.
Yeah. Bore them off me.
Just bite this cloth.
Just bite down. A little harder. A little harder.
That'd be awful. But no, so looks like it's just a little annoying infection and so on. Antibiotics. I'm a few days in and I do feel a little bit better. So all's good.
Yeah, because like the sun was out today and I got well in the mood for, you know, a little bit of drinking, you know, enjoying the sunshine while it's out. And I was like, Jordan, get your fucking act together, mate. Cancel all your plans. We're getting pissed tonight, pal. Yeah. We're going to have a fucking right good night. And you were like, nah. Testicles, mate. I was like, oh, shit, yeah. Forgot about them. Usually whenever you mention your testicles, it's for a good reason. But this time, you know, they're ruining the party.
Absolutely. It's like when you got your vasectomy, you also couldn't drink.
Exactly, yeah. I had to, you know, cut it out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And what did I become? A boring shell of a human.
Yeah, so that's going to be me right now.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get on with it. I mean, you don't drink that much anyway, do you?
I don't really, to be honest. But how are you?
I'm tired, Jordan.
Oh, no.
I'm fucking knackered, but I have counteracted it. I have just finished a can of Monster. And normally, I don't like energy drinks. I hate the stuff. I don't really touch them. But today, because I am sick of the last 6 or 7 recordings sounding like us going, yeah, mate, how's it going? I'm like, yeah, mate, yeah, I'm grand, thanks, how are you? Right, I wanted to up it. I wanted a bit of fucking energy, right?
Right, okay.
A bit of fucking, you know... Oh God, the monster's gone to my head. I can't articulate. You know, a bit of blah. You know, what a bit of party time. So I've had a
bit of bravado.
That's the one. I don't fucking know. I've had some Monster anyway, mate. Oh, I'm fucking hyper.
It's a good job you didn't have Red Bull because you'd have been flying everywhere,
and that would have been no good for mic technique, would it?
It really wouldn't.
Because you know, I'd be fucking zooming in and out.
Be like that annoying fly.
And no one would have got any kind of coherent story out of me, and it'd have been shit.
So it's interesting that you brought up Monster energy drink there, Iain.
Oh, yeah?
Because have you heard of the Yuka app?
No. I'm bursting with anticipation to find out what the fucking hell it is, mate, so please tell me.
Well, it's a relatively new app, and it's used for food and drinks and cosmetics. Basically, what happens is you scan the barcode of the product in question, and it gives you a score out of 100 on how healthy it is for your body.
Oh, Lord.
In relation to the ingredients and the additives or the chemicals that are inside of it. And I tell you what, it's pretty eye-opening.
I am now becoming increasingly conscious of the fact that you asked me to send you a load of brands that I use.
Yeah. So for clarification for anyone listening, I asked Iain yesterday prior to this, could you just send me a couple of things that you often eat and drink? What's your toothpaste that you use? What deodorant do you use? And you must have thought, what the hell are you talking about?
I just thought, you must have thought, well, Iain lives such a good, healthy lifestyle. I'm after some recommendations.
Yeah.
Let's see what Iain eats. Monster Energy and white bread.
Perfect.
The end.
Yeah. Unfortunately, so far, the only thing that's not in the app is alcohol. So I can't be testing that. But...
Oh, Lucky me.
Oh, yeah. Got off lightly there. So you mentioned Costa Cafetiere coffee grounds.
Yes.
And that came up as excellent at 90 out of 100, which is really good. So, like, no added rubbish to that.
Nice one.
Yeah, perfect. So fill your boots.
I will do.
Now, literally, do it.
I don't need to be any taller.
You also mentioned Pepsi, if you even meant Pepsi Max or normal Pepsi.
Yeah, we sometimes drink Pepsi Max.
See, I don't like Pepsi.
Do you not? I think it's just whatever's on offer, mate.
Fair enough.
You know, we like to have a fizzy beverage with our meal on occasion. So if Coke is on offer, we'll get that.
Okay.
Coke Zero. I know you're being brand specific.
Yes.
So yeah, the Zero one. Or Pepsi Max, yeah. The low sugar. Because we hate sugar.
And it hates you.
Good. The feeling is mutual.
It's mutual, yeah. So, Pepsi Max or Coke Zero, you name it, all pretty poor, I'm afraid, Ian. I don't think it needed me to tell you that.
Fuck off.
At a score of 39 out of 100.
That's nearly half.
It's more like a third.
Semantics.
And that's because there are 6 additives in particular, 3 of which are considered quite hazardous.
Oh.
So there's the aspartame that everybody knows about, that's the sweetener. There's E numbers that I just don't have a clue about, but apparently they can cause metabolic disorders.
Well, as soon as I figure out what one of those is, I'll probably start learning about it. Shit, man, you've swayed me. You've changed my mind. No more Pepsi, nor Coke for me.
That's it. It's just water. Perfect. That is 100 out of 100. Branded excellent.
Nice. What about all the fluoride in the water? All the mind control additives added into that, Jordan?
No, that's just bottled water, I'm afraid. It doesn't specify our crappy tap water.
Oh, okay.
It's probably worse than the Pepsi Max, to be fair. And then you also mentioned Branston reduced sugar and salt beans.
Yes.
I think. And that was rated excellent too, so good choice.
Nice.
So between your Costa and your beans, you sorted.
Well, that balances out the odd can of Coke here or there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And can I say that was a score of 78 out of 100 with only 3 limited risk additives, so not bad at all. You also mentioned Colgate toothpaste. That's something you said you use.
Yep.
So that is rated poor, I'm afraid.
What?
At a mere 41 out of 100, due to 2 medium risk ingredients, which are, number 1, the foaming agent used, which can cause inflammation and can promote penetration of molecules that are harmful into the body.
Well, fucking hell.
And 2, zinc oxide, which is actually used as a UV filter in sunscreens, yes, and as a colouring agent in cosmetics, and that can potentially lead to respiratory inflammation.
Okay, why are they in toothpaste?
I don't know, but the whole point of this app, though, is that you scan it and then you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't go for this. It actually gives you some similar related products with higher ratings.
Okay, so what should I use instead of Colgate?
Corsadel.
Corsadil. Okay, right.
Apparently, Ultra Clean Daily Gum Care Fluoride Toothpaste. It's an 86 out of 100, branded excellent, without any harmful sulfate, it says. And any of the ingredients are all low risk or risk-free.
I'll tell you what, I just won't eat anything or drink anything ever again, and then I won't need to brush my teeth, and I will be 100% excellent. So I won't be having any of this high-risk food, any of this dirty high-risk Coca-Cola. I won't be having any dirty toothpaste going into my mouth, letting in fucking ultraviolet rays or whatever it was, and I'll be fine.
I mean, I don't know what Tulpa's like either. It's about to be like -10. And finally, Nivea Cool Kick Antiperspirant Spray. That's something you said you used, wasn't it?
Yep. I'm looking at it right now.
So that is
5 out of 10 lets in ghosts. Turns your armpits into a sandwich.
So that is also rated as poor.
Oh, fuck off.
At 41 out of 100. Mostly because aluminium is essentially in that.
Well, you know what? It makes me smell good, and that's why I buy it.
Okay, that's fine. Just let a little bit of aluminium in your body.
If I end up being Iron Man at the end of it, you know, that's a happy little byproduct. I'm happy with that.
And also, Ian, you just said Monster drink. Is this the non-sugared version or the sugared version?
It is unfortunately the sugared version because it's the only flavour I can handle, and it's the punch one.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Pipeline punch.
And is that because it gives you a proper punch to the gut? Because I'm afraid, Ian, that is branded as bad at 0 out of 100.
What did you expect? Did you expect anything different, honestly?
Right, the positives say there's no salt and no saturated fat. Way.
Nice.
Whereas the negatives is everything else. So it says...
I'm just going to stop listening after the good stuff.
Too much sugar. Too much energy.
Too much energy?
It means calories. And way too many additives, 3 of which are hazardous.
Bear, I've survived this long.
Not because of Monster, pal. Which is the irony. So yeah, apparently some of these can cause allergic reactions such as hives and eczema, some of these additives.
Wow.
It can promote hyperactivity and attention deficit disorders. And the sweeteners, it cause an increased risk of cancer and cardiovascular disease. So enjoy.
Cheers, pal. I tell you what, delete that app and then just enjoy yourself. Just have fun with your life.
Absolutely.
Rather than worrying about all this stuff.
I must say, though, it's become a bit of an obsession of mine recently because when I've gone shopping, I've just been scanning everything. I do think it's been interesting, though, because I've made other choices that I wouldn't normally make.
Okay.
And I'm not, like losing out for it. I've just gone for a different brand or something.
Okay. Well, I'm happy you're happy.
Thank you very much. So if anyone's interested, that is the Yuka app. I do think it's worth trying because, might help. Or in the case of Iain, really may not.
While you all download that, I'm going to go and grab another Monster Energy. Anyway, me old pal, what have you got coming up for us today?
Well, Iain, today I've got a list of the worst things people have said in awkward situations.
Nice one.
Well, maybe not for them.
Well, maybe.
Nice for us.
Their pain is my comedy, so that's fine.
Absolutely, yeah, you sadist. And what about you, Iain?
Well, Jordan, peppered through our last 70-odd episodes, including bonus episodes, of which there are 8 sat on our Patreon right now for just £3.
Ka-ching.
I have been blabbing constantly about entities, aliens, ghosts and cryptids, and how they do not have our best interests at heart, leading people through stupid tasks for their own amusement or gain. But today, I ponder the question, does the opposite exist, and has it ever shown itself to us lowly humans? Well, Jordan, for your listening pleasure, for our first tale today, I have a story of just such a thing. And now, this story isn't full of alien abductions, strange goings-on, or haunted houses. Nothing grandiose, really. It's simply an amazing, true, medically documented, bizarre case of paranormal intervention.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Hold on to your giblets, and let's get into it. So with this tale, the first thing that is so mind-blowing is that this story is told by a doctor that treated, wrote about, discussed and published a story about one woman's genuine, batshit crazy paranormal experience. What's weird about that, Iain? Well, it was published in a medical journal. That's right, it wasn't written in the spooky self-published ramblings of some conspiracy theorist, but the prestigious document detailing bizarre and challenging medical cases written because they actually happened. And the first thing to point out is that a doctor wrote this, so if anyone was to maybe think, oh, maybe it's not real, then my first question would be, why did a doctor publish it and potentially just ruin their career for the sake of writing a bizarre random story?
They just wanted an early retirement.
I don't think they'd really have the money, if they, like first day on the job. Ooh, I've had this weird case. You're fired. Sweet, retirement, here I come. Oh, wait, still got all the debt. Didn't get the money. I was lied to.
Now I've been lynched out of the village.
Become a recluse. And that is where Mothman came from. The doctor went and lived on a bridge.
That would be also interesting.
So this doctor's name is a name that I cannot pronounce. So Jordan, you've got it written down there. I'd like you to give it a go to save me the embarrassment, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, why not? So, let me just get this in my mind first.
Nope, first try and reading it, mate. Get out, go on.
Aikichukwu Obialo Azuni.
Okay, thanks very much for that attempt, Jordan. That'll do.
So every time this person comes up, are you just going to put that that little audio clip in?
I will
seamlessly?
do. Actually, yeah. No, I was going to refer to them as Ike for the rest of this, but I think I'll just do that instead. So
Aikichukwu Obialo Azuni
writes about a patient.
Perfect.
But this doctor is a consultant psychiatrist who, due to my inability to read, I won't put you on the spot, Jordan. I would not do that to you. I will refer to them as Ike from the foreseeable future.
Okay, fair enough.
So Ike writes about a patient who wasn't named in the journal, so I will refer to her as Emma. So Emma was living in the UK, where she had lived since the 1960s, having been born abroad in continental Europe in the mid-1940s. Emma lived and worked happily in the UK, and one day she got married. Her and her husband started a family, and Emma decided not to return to work, instead staying home with their child. Now, Emma was the kind of person who never really ever seemed to get sick. She was a stranger to her GP. She was fit and healthy, and if you asked her, she wouldn't even be able to tell you what the inside of a hospital looked like. In the winter of 1984, Emma was at home, happily chilling out in her favourite chair, reading a book, when out of nowhere, she heard a distinct and clear voice say,
"Please don't be afraid. I know it must be shocking to hear me speaking to you like this, but this is the easiest way I could think of. My friend and I used to work for the Children's Hospital, Great Ormond Street, and we would like to help you."
Okay, this is weird.
This voice didn't come from inside her house, it wasn't on TV, it wasn't even from a phone she'd accidentally butt-dialed in her back pocket. This voice was clearly coming from inside her head.
So, schizophrenic.
I think that's probably what anyone would think, but with hearing this, Emma was terrified. She had heard of Great Ormond Street, but her children seemed to share her unusual good health, and no one in the family had ever even visited the place, and understandably, she started to freak the f*** out. And then the voice inside her head spoke again. It said,
"To help you see that we are sincere, we would like you to check out the following,"
and proceeded to give her 3 pieces of information that she knew nothing about at the time. Emma investigated them, found they were true, and then continued to freak the fuck out. She genuinely just thought she was going mad. Now, what I find quite annoying is there's a couple bits of information in this that they just don't elaborate on. So those 3 bits of information that was said the voices gave to her are not disclosed. And that's quite annoying because I'd really like to have known what they were.
Isn't that quite a critical thing? It's part of the story, you would think, wouldn't you? A bit of a detail people would want to know.
No, because this has just been written in a medical journal, so they're just stating the facts.
Oh, I see.
They're not exactly saying, this was the weird thing about it. They're not doing it for the sake of weirdness. It's just an unsolvable, bizarre medical case.
I see, okay. So it wasn't ever written to be like, ooh, spooky.
No, this is literally just a story that I have read from an actual published medical journal. That's the strange thing about it.
Okay, all right.
So, panicked, Emma jumped in her car and rushed to see her doctor, who then referred her to Ike, who swiftly diagnosed Emma as being in a functional hallucinatory psychosis.
Okay, so not schizophrenia.
No, not schizophrenic, not anything else. She just got a little bit of the psychosis.
Interesting, okay.
Supportive counselling and medication were given, and she was prescribed... I can't read that one. Do you want to give that one a go, Jordan?
Not really, but I'll try. Theoridazine?
Theoridazine.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right.
Thyroidazine. Yeah, there we go.
Nice. I'll look it up on Yuka. Let's see what the score is.
Do not do that.
I won't.
Don't want to put people off the medication. She was given medication, and the medication worked. This was fucking fantastic news for Emma. The voices were silenced, and 2 weeks later, she thought, F it, pal, life is too short. With her newfound happiness, she thought, I'm going to grab my shit, I'm going to go on fucking holiday, and I'm going to celebrate my life and my health.
Nice.
While she was on holiday, things were going great. She was having a fun time, chilling by the pool, lounging around. She was still taking the drugs she was on, but one day, God fucking damn it, the voices came back. This time, the voices made it very clear that they wanted Emma to get herself back to England immediately. They said there was something wrong with her and she needed a hospital right this goddamn second. And at this point in the journal, this is the second point I meant, Ike points out that at this time, Emma was also having other beliefs of a delusional nature, but doesn't explain what they were, of which, again, I'd have been very interested to hear about and how they tied into the story. But unfortunately, that information was left out.
Okay, fair enough. So she's hearing this voice in her head that is telling her she needs to get back to England because she needs to go to a hospital.
Yes.
But why is England so important? Could she not have just gone to a hospital that was, I don't know, 5 minutes away?
I'll tell you exactly why, Jordan.
Okay, all right.
Emma returned to England ASAP, and by this point, the voices had actually given Emma an address that they wanted her to get to. Reluctantly, her husband grabbed the car, not really wanting to go to the address, but still wanting to show Emma that the address surely couldn't have been anything of significance that actually meant anything to anyone, right? The address that was given was the computerized tomography department of a large London hospital, which we might know better as a big important building that helps people who need a CT scan.
Okay.
As they pulled up, the voices popped up again and told Emma to enter the hospital and ask for a brain scan for 2 reasons. 1, they said she had a tumour in her brain, and 2, her brainstem was inflamed. Believing the voices, as they had been correct in the past, and was understandably quite upset when she came to see Ike again. Now, generally, a brain tumour is diagnosed in the first instance by a doctor, but there had been 0 symptoms of a tumour of any sort, so to set Emma's mind at rest, Ike said, sure, okay, yep, no worries pal, I'll get you a scan. It was was requested, but declined in the first instance because there was no clinical justification for such an expensive investigation, and it was also implied that Ike was maybe being a little bit too accommodating, believing that she was hearing voices.
I think I'm connecting the pieces, though. Not to jump ahead, but I'm guessing that this is like an alternate version of her is telling her you need to be seen because, you know, she actually does have a tumour, or it's that the tumour is actually causing these voices in her head, but somehow it knows to tell her that.
I like the fact that you're trying to piece it together. The first thing you said there about maybe an alternate version of herself telling her, they don't really sort of go into it, so there's no way to maybe speculate, but I think the voices were different and maybe she'd recognise her own voice and there was two people.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I guess it's implied that it is somebody else.
Yeah, so it's saying that it's two people. Obviously they say that they work at Great Ormond Street, which is so bizarre.
Oh, got you. Okay, interesting thought nonetheless, but yes.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Please carry on.
So eventually, the scan was actually approved and it was completed in April. And then, what's that? Shit, better do a second scan. And oh bollocks, the left posterior frontal palatine mass reaching through the flaps of the side, showing all the hallmarks of a meningioma. In other words, yeah, a brain tumour.
Shit, so she was right.
The voice was indeed right. The doc thought it was strange. The lack of headache or any other issues caused by the thing, Ike discussed with Emma and her family and gave her two options. Wait for symptoms to arise or just operate now and remove the damn thing. The option was to have it removed.
I get that makes sense.
Yep, that's exactly what I'd have done. It's like, I ain't gonna wait for symptoms to start, pal.
Yeah, exactly.
The notes from the operation of May of 1984 read as follow. And I'm gonna fucking murder these big words, so just stick with me.
Oh, I'm ready. A
large left frontal bone flap extended across the midline was turned following a bifrontal skin flap incision. Meningioma about 2.5 by 1.5 inch in size arose from the flaps and extended through the right side. A small area of tumour appeared in the medial surface of the brain, and the tumour was dissected and removed. Does that make sense to anyone?
I understand what's going on there, but I mean, I couldn't have told you that.
In other words, they did the surgery, they removed the tumour.
Yeah. Successful.
And wouldn't you fucking know it? As soon as the operation was done and Emma was coming out from under the anaesthetic and back to the waking world, she said she heard the voices one last time, which said to her,
"We are pleased to have helped you. Goodbye."
And that was that. They were gone.
Wow.
Ike said in the journal that it is well known that intracranial lesions can be associated with psychiatric symptomology. But this is the first and only instance that this person has come across which in hallucinatory voices sought to reassure the patient of their genuine interest in their welfare, offered her a specific diagnosis, of which there were no clinical signs of, got her to a hospital, expressed pleasure that they had at last received the treatment, and bid them farewell after. The case was presented for a conference years later, and the crowd was split. Some thought it a medical anomaly, some thought she had simply been diagnosed in her home country, then came back to England to get free treatment on the NHS, which, you know, people might go, oh, okay, well, there's your answer. But this was ruled out as Emma had been a citizen for years of the UK and was entitled to free healthcare under the NHS. But I'm more interested to hear what you think about this, Jordan, because it was written about in a well-publicised journal. It wasn't just written on the back of a Kellogg's cornflakes box. It wasn't just posted to some online forum about voices. It was actually documented by a real-life fucking doctor.
A real-life fucking doctor.
The best kind.
Don't I know it? So,
Is that who saw your balls?
yeah, that's the only reason why they're sore, really. So, yeah, very interesting, very strange.
It is.
I mean, I've never heard of this story before, and I don't know, does it seem that out there for that to happen? I wonder if it's happened to anybody else.
To be honest, I did look into it, and in the limited time that I had to, I couldn't find anything. I'm sure there are thousands of stories out there where something like this has happened, but I couldn't find any. I might look into it a bit deeper and see if there's anything else in future I can come up with. But yeah, it's just so fucking strange. Like, it doesn't sound like it's some entity. It literally does sound like it's just a couple people. So I'm thinking what the situation is two people maybe doing channeling, and they're talking to entities, and the entity has told them to tell this person.
Oh, I see. So there's a chain of entities now.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I could think. So maybe what is happening here is this entity is talking to these two people who used to work in Great Ormond Street, and the entity is saying to them, help this person. And then when they do that, that gives these two people the confirmation that the entity they're talking to is benevolent, is a good spirit or whatever.
Yeah.
And then is going to then lead them on some wild goose chase.
Super weird, though. I would love to know what Ike actually thought about all of this with his own non-professional, human, personal beliefs.
I think that's why it was written about, because they take the case studies that they find the most interesting and most confusing and strange and most medically out there, and that's what gets published in this journal.
Oh, okay.
That's generally like the kind of cases that get written about is the ones that are so bizarre.
So it's also not just like next to, someone's foot fungus.
Oh no, yeah, it's always going to be like the strange ones, like if someone comes in with like they've grown an arm out of their forehead or something, that will be medically investigated and written in this journal. I think it's so other doctors can maybe get a look at it and put in their 2 cents about it, and it's a way of having everyone have a look at one case rather than just like one hospital or one doctor.
Okay, so very un-S4 like with Bob Lazar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're all about getting it out there.
Yeah.
Don't hide it. Don't compartmentalize it. Stick it in here. They want everyone to see it.
Interesting. I quite like it.
Weird.
Yeah, very odd. No, thank you for that. And just as a separate thing, by the way, I can't tell, but are you saying Great Ormond Street?
No, Ormond.
Okay, it sounds like you're saying Almond every time.
Great Ormond Street. Great Ormond. I know it's Ormond, right? Okay, so if I did say Almond, put that down to the monster, right?
Okay, yeah. The monster inside of you. It's a little bit like when people say St. Pancreas Station.
Never heard that one.
Have you not?
No.
My wife used to work with someone that legit used to call it that and not realise that was wrong.
I don't even know what the correct version of that is, so I'm laughing, but I don't know what I'm on about.
What do you think it should be?
I don't know. I've never heard of it. St. Panklebus? Pankle?
St. Pancras.
Right, nope, never heard of it.
Place in London. No?
No, never been.
Okay, fair enough. Well, every day's a learning day.
I'll just stick to St. Pancreas.
Just don't go to the doctor ever and be like,
Can you check out my pancreas?
Just gets up and leaves. Yeah, sure. Hey.
here's some tickets. Right.
Yeah, so tell me some stuff, Jordan.
Okay, so today I have a little collection for you of the internet's worst things said in awkward situations.
Oh.
Or perhaps even perfectly fine situations that are made extremely awkward because of one simple comment.
Right.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we, when, someone maybe, I don't know, sees you naked for the first time and they say,
You got any paper bags?
or,
Well, you know what, let's turn that light off.
or worse still, they simply go,
Yeah.
Oh.
not obviously from personal experience, I'll have you know, much.
No, I have that one. Yeah, my wife, that's what she said first time.
And still to this day.
No, now it's not, it's, can we turn the lights off first?
Followed by,
Yeah, I can still smell you.
It lingers. Is that why your window was open earlier?
Yeah, that's why she keeps it open all year round.
It's like, but wife, it's -7. I know.
I keep asking my tulpas to go take showers, and it just doesn't work.
Oh, never mind. You'll have to create a tulpa to make them take showers.
I just have to create a tulpa to shower me, to give me a sponge bath.
Oh, that would be great.
You've cracked it, Jordan.
Oh, you're very welcome. You don't need this segment now. You just need to get working on your tulpa.
Yeah, I'm gone. I'm already thinking about it.
So I've separated all of these by situation or category. So I'm going to start off with the worst things that are said on a first date.
Okay.
Maybe for yourself, Ian, is there anything that you'd think would be the worst thing to say on a first date?
Maybe something along the lines of, like, maybe if it's like a Tinder date or something like that, maybe something along the lines of, I thought you would be taller.
Oh, okay, something a bit deprecating.
Yeah, mate, big words ain't going to fly at the moment, okay? Very tired. Now I'm on the come down from the monster.
Oh, I see.
I can't even think straight.
You need to get another one.
That's not a bad idea.
I hear that 0 out of 100 cancels each other out when you drink 2.
I'm just trying to make the 100, so it becomes 100 out of 100, 2 zeros.
Oh, I see.
And then all I need to do is eat a 1.
Have a bit of segment of orange or something.
Yeah, perfect.
So, some examples that people have said. Does this look infected to you?
Oh, man, on a date?
Yeah.
Hopefully that wasn't like the penis, or something like that. Like,
I mean, it was not specified.
they go on the date, right? And then it goes well. They go back to like one of the bedrooms or something like that, and he like whips it out. He's like, oh, hang on a minute. Does that look infected? I was just trying to get a second opinion. Like, he hadn't noticed it before he came out.
It's like, well, can you kiss it better?
What a chat up line. Does this look infected? Because it could do with a snog.
Another one says, so this is my mum, Sharon. She will be our chaperone.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, I guess if they're, like, of an age where they might need a chaperone, then that's fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, no, but if they're 42...
If they're 42, then yeah, that's another story.
And again, it didn't specify, but maybe not great. Another one was, my mum didn't want me to come on this day, but she won't be an issue anymore.
A, what kind of cum? 2, sounds like they killed their mum.
It really does.
Just got, like, stood there with a willy in the hand and a dead mum behind them. My mum asked me not to come on this stage. You know.
And I'm close.
Oh, God.
Another one is...
Sorry, I better answer this. It's my wife.
Oh, God, yeah, that's a bad one.
And another one was, does anybody know you're here?
That sounds creepy as fuck.
It sounds awful.
Maybe they're asking out, like, the goodness of the heart, though. It's like, so yeah, I know you've come out with a strange person, so I just want to double check. Have you told someone where you are? Because that would be really irresponsible if you haven't. But again, on the other hand...
That just also sounds weird.
No, because, like, you know...
It's like you're setting them up for this failure.
Well, you know, if they were like, no, I haven't told anyone where I am, it's like, well, I don't want to accidentally be implicated. If you crash on the way home and it looks a bit suspicious, I don't want to be implicated in your death. So please call your mum, tell her you're out with me at the moment, and then text her when you leave, and then all will be well, right? But again, you know, maybe don't give them the benefit of the doubt in the situation, because it does just sound like they're saying, you're going to go missing tonight.
It really does, doesn't it? Yeah, so you could say that followed by, does this look infected to you?
Does anyone know who you are? Does this look infected? I'm close.
Oh, God, that'd be awful. So another example is worst things to say when your girlfriend asks you if her best friend is attractive.
Okay.
I mean, this is a difficult one. How would you go about that?
Well, my wife's cool as fuck, and she knows that I only have eyes for her, so if she said, do you think this person's attractive, I would probably, you know...
Start drooling.
I don't think she, even if, you know, I was like, mate, she's stunning. I don't think my wife would care. She'd just be like, okay.
Cool. I think that's great.
I think that's a healthy way to have a relationship. But I mean, you know, me and my wife, you know, saying that was hypothetical. We respect others. My wife would not even dream of asking me to judge another person based on their looks, because that is just downright horrible.
But also, all her friends are right mingers, aren't they?
You don't have any friends, mate. She's the minger.
That is a total joke, by the way.
Me and my wife were the only ones in our hometown. We had to be together.
It's like the story of Shrek.
Yeah. We are the only people in each other's league.
Oh, beautiful. So, maybe things that you shouldn't say include, in an overly enthusiastic tone.
Why? Did she ask about me?
Or even...
No, but she's a great kisser.
Oh, God, yeah. That's dropping yourself right in it, that one.
Or, she's way out of my league, that's for sure.
Are these real ones that people have said, or are these hypotheticals, yeah?
Apparently so. I mean, I can't tell you for sure, but I'd like to think so. And another one, which is definitely a real reply, according to the online commenter, they said...
She's all right, but her best friend is damn sexy.
Dropping yourself in it double fold.
No, actually, this one's clever because... You know, the girlfriend's asked, you know, what do you think to my best friend? And he goes...
Oh, I see, right. So, yeah,
she's all right, but her best friend is fucking sexy. It's actually clever. Very
clever. Have you seen that video where that totally backfired? And a guy called his friend and said... Oh, by the way, I can't remember the name, but he's like, oh, Jane's not my girlfriend anymore.
Oh,
and
I've seen
they're
this.
on speaker, yeah. He's like, oh.
She's next to him.
Yeah. He's like, thank God, man. She was crazy. I'm so glad you're out of there. She's like, no, wait. She's not my girlfriend. She's my fiance. And he's like, oh, shit. And then she's like, yeah, so what the Mike?
Yeah, that's awkward.
Brilliant.
That should have been on this list, really, shouldn't it?
Well, now it is.
Perfect, yeah. I appreciate that input.
No worries. I do have value.
You absolutely do.
Thanks for talking to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Sure you do, buddy.
Just ruffle your hair up. So, other worst things that are said after a first kiss? Any examples you might think of that could be pretty bad?
I can see where your mum gets it from.
That That was one of them.
Oh, is it?
Like, you kiss like your mum.
No way.
Someone else put, do you want a mint?
Okay, right.
Maybe not great. Another one. Couldn't even tell I vomited earlier, could you?
Oh, man. Keep that to yourself.
And another one that said, you should probably go get checked now.
What?
That's not great, is it? Awful. And the final one of this category is, now, can we do it again, but with meaning?
Oh, God. That sounds so belittling and fucking just awful.
Yeah, I don't suspect that they really went anywhere with that.
Yeah.
And another example is worst things to say at a urinal.
Okay.
So, what would be something that you think would be really bad?
Well, actually, I have a funny story.
No.
I guess it could come on this list. I was out one night, having a drink with friends in our hometown, out at some pubs and clubs and all that sort of like back in my rave days. And I was in the bathroom of a club. And
Right.
I washed my hands and I was walking out and some guy went, slapped me on the shoulder and went, "What's this?" Picked up a urinal cake
Oh, no.
and was bringing it to his face, and then his mate came in, batted it out of his hand, grabbed him around the waist, like locking his arms to him, and went, "Stop, you're such a fucking idiot," and looked at me and went, "He fucking eats them." And I was like, I kind of wish I'd seen that.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Yeah, I was kind of like, kind of wanted to see it though. Bit of morbid curiosity, kind of wanted to watch it, but
That's horrendous.
I can't imagine how chemically it would taste and how bad it would be for you, and all the piss that would be on that thing.
Yeah, I mean, that rates really badly on Yuka.
Does it? Minus 100.
I mean, can you just imagine, though, when his friend slapped it out of his hand and all these little microparticles went all across your drink?
Luckily, I was still in the bathroom. I hadn't exited yet, so my drink
okay.
was nowhere within reach of particles.
Okay.
Thanks for trying to freak me out there, Jordan. Ever the growing best friend.
Could have gone all over your glasses or in your mouth.
It went in my mouth as I was lapping up the air. Like,
Just in awe.
I was trying to do the Lady and the Tramp situation with him. I was like, you put the urinal cake in your mouth and I'll get the other end, mate.
Why do they also call them urinal cakes?
I don't know, the kind of little cakes.
Do they?
Fuck those, mate, you got me.
If I went to a coffee shop and I asked for a Victoria sponge cake and I got served that, I'd be fucking fuming.
I guess they're more akin to like a macaroon.
I hate those things as well.
Hate them and all, yeah.
Whereas that other guy, he'd have fucking loved that.
He just shuts his eyes, sprinkles a bit of piss on. Oh, no. Scoffs down a whole plate.
That's horrendous. So, worst things that people have said at a urinal. Word around the office is that you have a nice cock. I don't know how you really go about that, but fair enough.
Yeah, what would you say to that? I don't own a farm. Zip, run away.
Perfect, yeah. The cock's not pretty, but these bollocks are great. Are you here for the Gumtree advert?
What? Oh, right, okay. Right, I get it.
Yeah, you get it. Okay, yeah. So, this is the other one. I think they're taking the piss here. Sometimes I lose control and it goes everywhere. Yeah, and it goes everywhere. Whoa!
That's like, that thing where you just like, you push and it just comes out like a jet spray, like...
Oh, it's horrendous, isn't it?
All over the roof. Hope you brought your brolly, pal.
It shoots you through the wall with propulsion.
It's just a quicker way to get back to your desk, isn't it?
It really is. There's just that guy, like, following after you with his cakes.
Just dabbling it in your piss stream, getting a little bit of flavour. Delicious.
Fresh. And another one that said, it's okay, I'm a grower too.
Oh, man. Why are you looking, pal?
Another situation was worst things people have said when meeting their other half's parents for the first time.
Okay.
At the dinner table, the girlfriend says, Daddy, please pass the salt.
Oh,
And
I've heard this, yeah.
the boyfriend and the dad both reach for it.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Another one, I'll have her in bed by 8 and home by 8:15.
Oh, Lord. I mean, that's too short a time, No one's going to have fun, apart from the guy in that situation, so...
Yeah. I thought, to be honest, 8:15's pretty, that's quite a long time.
I mean, yeah, that involves, finishing, getting in the car, the drive back.
Yeah. Another one said, I hope that wasn't your dog outside.
Oh, God.
I'm assuming that means that poor dog got run over.
Yes, it sounds that way, doesn't it?
Another one that says, I came here to meet you and f*** your daughter, and I'm done meeting you.
Right. Get out the house. Don't talk to me like that, mate.
This guy's got a shotgun by the front door.
You'd want one in that situation, wouldn't you?
And another one, a real animal you've raised, sir.
Terrible thing to say. What is wrong with people these days?
I mean, I'm assuming some of these, if they were really said, were said in jest, but still, dodgy territory.
Absolutely, yeah.
You do not do that.
That's going to be a real hit or miss, and if it's a miss, then you ain't going to see that person anymore, because every time you do walk into that house, or even probably within 100 feet of that house, you're going to feel eyes on you.
Absolutely.
And a fist coming your way.
Yes, you'll hear that swoosh just moments before impact. And last example of a situation of the worst things that people have said at a funeral.
Oh, God. I don't know what I expected.
Someone has said... It's really bad.
Just think about it. You're not losing a daughter.
Oh, my God.
You're gaining a guest room.
No, don't say that. That's an awful... The parent's like, oh, yeah. I never thought about it that way. Fucking hell, what a god-awful thing to say.
That is awful, isn't it?
If this is to that same family, and that's the boyfriend that said any of those things before, it's like, mate, you're a dead ice, pal.
To be honest, it's probably more likely to be his funeral.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Another one says, have you tried turning them off and back on again?
Oh, my God. There's a time and a place to do jokes, right?
You're right.
I don't care if you work in IT. And that works for every other situation in the world. This is not the time.
I mean, potentially there might be a little group of people out there that would think, yeah, Tim, you got it.
Or maybe, maybe that's where we've been going wrong for the entirety of humanity. They turn off the life support, just try turning it back on.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's very true. But, I mean, maybe, we could have saved millions.
We could have done.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to turn it off. No, click, and back on again. Click, oh, hey, I'm alive again.
Just starts fucking dancing around the room as if nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Another one says, this is the worst bar mitzvah I've ever been to.
Okay, they're in the wrong room.
And another one, which is apparently a total true story. The priest delivering the ceremony, he said he died doing what he loved, which was a service about someone who died of a drug overdose.
Oh, man.
And they said the jaws hit the floor.
I can imagine, yeah. That'd be another perfect example of a punched person.
Yeah, there are some things you just do not say. I mean, I don't know what this priest was thinking, but yeah, you don't really go around saying that.
I mean, unless they got the wrong end of the stick and they'd accidentally written drums. They thought it said drums or something like that. He was doing drums. Oh, he died doing drums. He died doing what he loved. So I accidentally saw his mistakes. Like, shit, it says drugs. Just thought I'm going to have to run with it now.
I mean, it could be worse. Someone could have been like, as a separate thing, I think I just saw the body twitch, and then they just get up and start doing CPR.
Oh, God.
That would be awful too.
That person doing that sermon could have done that. It's like, he died doing what he loved, drugs, and then everyone looks at him, and then he's like, oh shit, I think I saw the body twitch, and everyone goes, looks over at the body, you make your quick escape out the side door.
I don't think that's happened, to be honest with you, but an interesting thought nonetheless that feels very much like scary movie plot themes.
It definitely does, yeah.
So there you have it, a collection of the internet's worst things said in the most awkward situations.
Well, smash him. Thank you very much for that, Jordan. They were very enlightening. Thanks for giving me a list of things that I should not say in a lot of different situations.
You're welcome. I hope I've saved you bacon there.
You have done indeed. I'm going to have to rewrite about 3 speeches, but I'm sure it'll be all right. I'll run them by you first.
I've got you back.
Anyway, does that about bring us round to the end of today's episode?
I think it does indeed.
Fantastic news! Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Two Guys What's Up. Don't forget to follow the show wherever you listen to us so you don't miss another episode. And maybe even tell a friend. Take your friend to meet your dad or mum or guardian.
Or priest.
Or priest. Yeah, anyone really. And just give them a list of things not to say. But on that list, write do's. Listen to Two Guys What's Up.
Perfect. And if you would like to get in touch with us, our Linktree link is in the bio of this episode, which you can click on and be jetted off to every link you will ever need for all your Two Guys Guys What's Up essentials. Would you want to get your own 2 Guys What's Up t-shirt? Then click that link.
Wanna listen to me say naughty words? We don't beep them in the bonus episodes, so click the link.
Want to find out things to say to your partner's parents the first time you meet them? Click that link.
And don't forget, we now have Patreon, where you can find all of your 2 Guys What's Up extra essentials, including pin badges, shout-outs, t-shirts, and if you really can't get enough of our fantastic tales and fucking amazing voices, well, now you can get more, because we release bonus episodes which come out on the last Friday of every month. There is currently 8 sitting up there waiting for your ears to just go and have a little old listen. And all that is available right now, starting with the bonus episodes for just £3 a month.
So if you want to help support the show and get some cool stuff while you do so, head over to patreon.com/2 Guys What's Up to check out all the goodies over there. The link will be down below for your clicking pleasure.
Beautiful. But if you can't do that, but you still like to help us out, then a 5-star rating and review in your podcast app of choice would be the best way to do that for us, and we would be eternally grateful.
We would indeed, Moon.
But on that note, thanks for listening. Y'all have an amazing week, and we will see you next Monday. Bye.
Testicle.
Medically documented bizarre case of paranormal intervention.
Okay, sounds interesting. Go on.
Well, I will do.
Good.
1 minute, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to read here.
I'm fucking ready.